He froze on her doorstep the moment he heard her whisper, her voice trembling so softly he almost thought he imagined it. "Please, don't hurt me again." The words hit him harder than any punch he'd ever taken, harder than the loneliness of all the years they had spent apart. Daniel Reyes had come back hoping for forgiveness, hoping to rebuild the home he once shattered. But in that moment, he realized just how deeply he had broken the woman standing before him. Take a second to like, share, and subscribe. It helps these stories reach more people who need to hear them. Emily stood in the doorway, her brown eyes red-rimmed, her hands gripping the frame as if bracing herself for pain. She looked so much smaller than he remembered, wrapped in a thick sweater with her dark hair falling loosely around her shoulders. Behind her, the warm glow of the living room cast a soft light that only emphasized the tiredness etched into her face. Daniel swallowed hard, unable to even step forward. "Emily, I would never hurt you again. I swear it." But Emily didn't look convinced. Her breath shook, and she kept glancing at the shadows behind him as if expecting someone else to appear. A reminder, maybe, of all the times he'd left her stranded, all the times he chose work, stress, or pride over the marriage they were supposed to fight for together. She stepped back slightly, not inviting him in, just giving herself space. "Why are you here, Daniel? You said we were done. You said you'd moved on." "Emily, I was wrong. I thought I could build a life without you. I thought distance would make things easier. I told myself you deserved better and that I wasn't the man who could give you the life you wanted. But every step I took away from you, it felt like losing air." Emily blinked, the tears finally breaking. She wrapped her arms around herself as if holding her heart together. For years, she had carried the weight of his absence. Birthdays alone, holidays alone, empty nights wondering why she wasn't enough. And now he was here, saying all the words she used to pray for, but far too late. "Daniel, you walked out. You left me without warning. You didn't call. You didn't explain. You just disappeared. Do you know what that did to me?" He lowered his head. "I know, and I'll never forgive myself. I got lost, Emily. I let my fears win. I thought if I left first, I wouldn't have to watch you leave me later." Emily stared at him in disbelief. "You think I would have left you? After everything we built? After everything we survived? I loved you, Daniel. I fought for us. I waited for you to come home every night, even when we barely spoke. And you left because you were scared?" He winced. "Yes." She exhaled shakily, anger and heartbreak mixing in her voice. "Then you didn't just leave me. You abandoned the marriage. You abandoned your responsibility to us." Daniel stepped forward but didn't cross the threshold. "Emily, I came back because I realized no amount of success or distance or distraction could erase what we had. I came back because I finally grew up, because I finally understand the pain I caused, and because," he looked up, eyes wet, "because I still love you." Her lips parted slightly, her heart stumbling at the words she had waited years to hear. But she wasn't the same woman he left behind. She had learned how to survive without him. She had built her own strength. She wasn't someone who could be broken by his choices anymore. "Daniel," she whispered, her voice softer now, "I don't know if I can trust you again." "Then let me earn it. Day by day, I'll prove I'm not the man I was." A long silence stretched between them, warm light flickering on her face and cold wind brushing his back. Emily glanced over her shoulder at the small apartment she now called home. Quiet, modest, but safe. She had rebuilt herself within those walls. Letting him back in wasn't a small step. It was opening a wound that barely healed. But then she looked at him, not the man who left her, but the man standing now, trembling, remorseful, hopeful. He looked older, softer, humbled, and her heart, it still recognized him. Why now? Why, after all these years? Daniel swallowed hard. Because I saw you last week. You were coming out of the cafe on 5th Street. You were smiling, holding a coffee, your hair tucked behind your ear. Exactly the way you used to look on Sunday mornings. You looked happy, really happy. And I realized I never fought for you the way you fought for me. I never apologized. I never tried to fix anything. And I couldn't live another day knowing I walked away from the best thing that ever happened to me. Emily pressed her lips together as a tear slid down her cheek. She had never stopped loving him. She only stopped waiting. Slowly, trembling, she stepped aside, just a little, not enough to welcome him back fully, but enough to show she wasn't shutting the door either. You can come in for coffee. But Daniel, this doesn't erase the past. He nodded. I know, but maybe it can help us start again. As he stepped inside, the warmth of the room wrapped around him, the same warmth he had been running from all those years, the same warmth he now wanted to earn back. Emily closed the door gently behind them, her heart still fragile but not closed. Maybe the road ahead would be long. Maybe forgiveness would take time. But for the first time in years, they weren't walking alone.